corner. Chelsea, 3 times winners, go again. It's their 7th consecutive final. So let's get the teams then. Chelsea are missing top scorer Sam Kerr and defender Ellie Carpenter, who are on international duty at the Asia Cup. Kadisha Buchanan makes her first start since November 2024 after recovering from an ACL injury. Lucy Bronze has won 23 club trophies and shows no sign of slowing down, scoring her 145th England appearance over the international break. Lauren James also stars the Lionesses. She returns to full fitness and was announced this week. She signed a new contract with Chelsea until 2030. Alyssa Thompson, fresh from scoring the winning goal in the friendly tournament for Jubilee's Cup over the international break, is competing in her first ever cup final. Manchester United's Hinata Miyazawa and ever presence in the midfield is away at the Asia Cup of Japan. Jade Riviere returns, having missed the last 2 games with injury. Millie Turner's absence from the 11 is tactical, we understand. Jess Clark scores the Lionesses in their 6-1 win in World Cup qualifying over Ukraine, continuing a sparkling season since joining United from Man City in the summer. She has 9 goals in all competitions. Top scorer Elizabeth Sterling, who scored the winner against Arsenal in the semi-finals of this competition, also comes in. So it is a cup final, and as every season in this competition, it is played in pretty grim weather, but no matter. And a bit of perspective ahead of kick-off here. We will observe a minute's remembrance for the tragic death of Amelia Atlin, a 15-year-old goalkeeper for Oxford United, who died last weekend, and former Chelsea goalkeeper Amy Carr, who passed away this week, having battled a brain tumour. The final formalities nearly complete. Ella Tissier and Erin Cuthbert with the referee Grace Lowe. We will have VAR and goal line technology over the stadium today, but before we get underway, we will remember Amelia Atlin and Amy Carr. And former Chelsea goalkeeper Amy Carr, we offer a message on Cuthbert with a great treatment this week. And speaking to numbers of everyone across the women's game over the weekend, and Amy's family, friends, loved ones, and club, and an incredibly difficult time. There will now be a period of silence and memory which will begin on the referee's board. We're just about set for the action here at Ashton Gate. It is wet, it is windy, it is wild, and the storyline ahead of this one is compelling. Manchester United seem to always fall at the hurdle being Chelsea on a number of occasions. Can they clear one and claim another piece of silverware? And for Chelsea, well, the season hasn't gone as they'd like, but they still have the opportunity to retain at least one of their trophies from last season. Starting today, Rachel Brown-Finnis. It means so much to both teams for different reasons.
Absolutely right, Robin. Manchester United, it would be history. These girls are used to making history. Relatively short existence in the Women's Super League, Manchester United, but for Chelsea, this could be a turning point in this season, which hasn't by any means gone all to plan.
So Chelsea get us underway. Lauren James, again, fielded as the number 9 in the absence of Sam Kerr. Myra Ramirez also out, and it looks like she's going to miss the whole season, so having to come up with a different plan as an attacking option, but it did the job after extra time 21 days ago when Chelsea managed to beat Manchester United to reach the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Here goes Lucy Bronze. Rewarding run down the right. Cuthbert tried to play it into Lauren James. Did she keep that in? It's a tight one. It's shoveled behind for Fallon Collis-Joyce and a corner for Chelsea.
Well, Lauren James is brilliantly there. The weight of the pass from Erin Cuthbert was just slightly overhit. Brilliant run down the right-hand side from Lucy Bronze. Evergreen Lucy Bronze. Just overhit. Did well, Lauren James, to ensure Collis-Joyce just had to be safe. Turn it round the post. Dangerous from corners, Chelsea.
Both goals came from corners against Manchester United. Not quite gone to plan, but they retain possession with Reeting Cannery. Great anticipation there from Riviere, but upfield from Reeting Cannery and out of play. Lauren James missed so much at the start of the season after injury in the final of the Euros. Now back to nearly her best. Mark Skinner, who led Manchester United to their first piece of silverware 2 seasons ago at the FA Cup. Space opening up here. Hurling with her head down. She's got Jess Park. She goes for it. Oh, and Hannah Hampton has to shovel that round the post. Slippy surface. No chances taken.
That was uncomfortable for Hannah Hampton. She knows she didn't get the most convincing of goals. His hands behind it, see how it just dips and bounces below. Just sneaks under her hand, but gets
Heather might present it to Jan. The gaps. Reeting Cannery into Lauren James. Deflection from Ellis. Tissier. Out of play. Another corner.
Well, that was brilliant from the Tissier. I was watching from a defensive point. Chelsea were overloading down this left-hand side, and Tissier was screaming at Jess Park to get back and help her. She's 2v1. Chelsea should have made more of it. Wait, the Tissier closes down Laura James. Ensures that danger is snuffed out for the second corner in just opening 3.5 minutes for Chelsea. They've certainly come out the blocks.
You could see proficient from these situations this season. Cuthbert delivers low. Oh, it's a slightly awkward one. It's fizzed away from everyone. It's picked up here by Uma Thurman. Reeting Cannery. Buchanan got a touch to it. Here's Lucas. Mallard. Touch from Lucy Bronze was vital. Chelsea playing a high line and Manchester United looking to exploit it. Baltimore back to Lauren James. Kadisha Buchanan.
Good shoes to fill for Buchanan coming in today, not had much playing time this season. Naomi Gerber, minor injury, keeps her out, maybe an eye ahead to Champions League. Still the elusive trophy for Chelsea.
A good 16 months out, Kadisha Buchanan.
Very experienced player to come in and take up that centre-half role.
Flurry of chances in the opening 5 minutes, and now Manchester United just allowing Chelsea to possess the ball. Really good pass down the middle for Erin Cuthbert. Bronze.
Yeah, nice play now from the back. Hannah Hampton just putting her foot on the ball, wanting to draw Manchester United out of shape so we can find the opening with a precision of pass. Lucy Bronze ended up in the third. All terms playing out the back.
As always.
What a signing she's been, Erin Cuthbert. 17-year-old coming down from Scotland.
15 major trophies with Chelsea. Make it 16. Deflection has taken into the path of Cuthbert. Just crowded out. Good strength shown by Buchanan.
Just taking control of the game this last few minutes. Less erratic, more composed.
Return the ball to Thompson, Park. We've got Olma, and now Mallard. Charlotte in behind, or is she? No, Buchanan, brilliant. That was such a dangerous moment, and she dealt with it brilliantly.
Tracking from Buchanan, lovely ball from Ziggy Osiome. Mallard has had a season of her life, this time provider. She has been numerous occasions this season, but brilliantly matched by Buchanan. Not just the speed she shows, but the nous to get across the run of Turland. In that position, chances to open up a lead for young Manchester United.
A couple of times though, Chelsea have looked exposed.
Yeah, we've seen the surface is going to cause problems for the goalkeeper. Prefer wind or rain? I'd say prefer wind, but today we've definitely got both, and both could be a factor certainly.
Just I'm not sure she was aware that Luscombe was on her shoulder. Burman scored an equaliser in extra time for 20. The Dutch Cup final last season, which they went on to win on penalties. Here was Lauren James. Really good defending. There, Letitia helping out with Olma.
Yeah, the girl talks about Lauren James on this left-hand side, and that's how that's her best position in their opinion, and I completely agree with them. The way she links up with Lisa Thompson there, looking to change. One goes more central, one stays out wide. Allows Lauren James reading her runs. Exceptional.
Good delivery from Erin Cuthbert again. Proficient defending. Manchester United and the foul committed by Lucy Bronze on Jade Riviere.
I think Lucy Bronze already covered every blade of grass. That far left corner on this occasion.
Has been occasionally deployed as a right-sided centre half, but that doesn't allow her to do those forward runs. Not as often anyway, but she likes to do that when the time is right.
Still her major strength, isn't it? Up and down that right flank.
Trying to pick out Rikin Canarid. Got there first.
After that whistle. Oh, where were you? Just needed to drill it along the grass a little. Stuck under her feet, but there was so much space. The back line of Chelsea were a good 3 yards off of. But probably 21-22 out. Chelsea.
Play from Lundford. With the Asia Cup going on. Both teams missing key players. Good run from back behind, first time ball in. A bit more time to measure that. Will Buchanan, she held on to it for a fair while then, managed to find Berman. That's a really good pass out to Nuskin, received back from Lauren James. Chelsea moving the ball up the field with precision.
But on that last attack, Mallard was just left completely on her own. I'm not sure that Chelsea were prepared for a 4-4-2, which is what Manchester United have really set out as. Two strikers, Turland and Vangenheim, but certainly caused the problems defensively.
And Thompson, too many touches, didn't want to take it on first time. Kira Walsh, back to James. James, excellent effort.
Well, we were right behind the line of that strike and it was beautiful. Chelsea did really well to keep possession of the ball in tight areas and she absolutely drilled that. Just went back slightly, didn't get over and through the ball. But the time and space that she's being allowed down this, when she peels out onto the left hand side, is a problem for Manchester United.
Really started her senior career, at least, Lauren James at Manchester United, looking into promotion to WSL in 2018. Eventually moving back to Chelsea where her footballing career started. And scored a hat-trick against Manchester United at Stamford Bridge in January 2024. Remember, after the first goal went in, she was being booed regularly by United fans. I think they've learned their lesson.
But Lauren James has said Manchester United, the part that played in her development, in her career, that she might not be doing what she was doing at Chelsea if she hadn't had her time at Manchester United. So she was a key player for Manchester United at a young age in a senior team, and also being playing senior football, absolutely vital for developing any young player.
Bronze arguing that stayed in the line.
game, and for Manchester United, such a big player missing. Miyazawa, you mentioned the Asia Cup, Zigiotti, and Miyazawa have been absolutely unbelievable this season for Manchester United. Pretty much ever present, I believe, this season, so to be broken up. Japan, possibly if they make it all the way to the final, be away for the Champions League game as well. No juggling act for Mark Skinner and his team.
Big fixtures to look forward to in the Champions League for both of these sides. The referee giving it the other way. It looked like this would have been Turlin's foul. Have a look.
Well, Turlin was closer to the ball initially, and then Cuthbert got a body across between the ball and Turlin. Anything. They finished him in the other way, but
Very good first to reach that ball forward. James towards Nuskin, just over her head.
where's Wally trying to spot where Lauren James is going to pop up next, and on that right hand side, lovely ball in, just slightly overweighted. Clearly Sonia Bonpastor has to get the best out of Lauren James is to allow her that freedom. It's spoken about a lot, and it's not in any ways a negative. It's the rest of the team around just got to figure out, where she's going and what your role is when you have a key player like that. It's not just about what Lauren James wants, it's for the rest of the team.
CA's ball forward is deflected but picked up by Park. Riviere down the line for Langerheim. Game time joining in January from Hammarby. Sofiola tries to find Langerheim, who turns away and shoots, but doesn't get any real power on it at all.
Rushes it a little bit on that turn where the defender went to ground. Lovely ball in from Zigiotti here. See that lovely turn and Berman goes to ground. Allows her space. Sandy Baltimore comes up, but she gets a head up. Just Park to the left of it. She has Melvin Mallard to the left of it. Certainly Manchester United at the moment who would hedge you back to score first. The possession, James popping up in lots of different areas, looking dangerous with great quality up.
Lauren James has to take advantage. Of course she can. Well, it was an easy opportunity given to Lauren James. You give that to any player, it's going to be an opportunity. It was never going to be passed up by James, who scored her first ever cup final goal. It's a horrible moment for Janssen. Chelsea in front, and it's a gift.
Well, she's been the sparkle, hasn't she, for Chelsea, and just as saying Manchester United look likely to score first, I had gone on to say that Lauren James looks to be really dangerous, and to give anybody a gift for Chelsea, it would not be Lauren James if you're Manchester United. It's not a composed finish, fully deserved. She's been on the ball more than anyone for Chelsea. Excellent goal.
And a familiar sense of deja vu from Manchester United. There have been so many games against Chelsea where they have looked the more threatening side, and yet they are behind. Still a long, long way to go, and this is a real test of character now for United. Triple from Rachel for Janssen. Sure what went wrong there?
Lauren James closed down really hard, and her touch was not perfect. She had to think where the ball was going, and really it should have been lofted, hoofed, which I know modern players don't like to do, but safety first. To be tight control and swivel your body to play back to Culler's Joyce. Took it by surprise.
Really good play from Serland. Park. Baltimore had a little nibble, but she's found there'll be Mallard. First pass defender, it's a really good cross in. Can't quite find a teammate.
She put the burners on past Lucy Bronze's next to a bit of skill from Melvin Mallard. Just draws her into a little stab, Lucy Bronze. Still hits that cross. This is where Manchester United would hope that Chelsea could be vulnerable. So the Riviere raced back to the centre spot.
A little bit too much on that for Riviere from Park. Areas to exploit for Mark Skinner's side. That's got to be so frustrating, the manner in which they conceded that goal.
Not the best of the best in cup finals though, Robin, and a little tiny lapse of concentration, which is what it was. Indecision from a player who's been exceptional this season, Dominic Janssen for Manchester United. You've got a team and you've got a fully fit Lauren James, a world-class player.
Well, an ominous stat there. A Manchester United persuasion, and the last team that managed to beat Chelsea after they scored first was Liverpool in that crazy WSL game in the Hayes final season, after which she conceded the title and then they went on to win it. And that was Emma Hayes for you. She was
a mind game genius.
Chess she was playing with us. Still lots of time and lots of promise from this Manchester United team. Do they have the belief? I guess that is the question.
I think that's something that's strengthened year on year with Manchester United. The levels of belief, no issue with that. That's just an error early on in the game. You delete, you assume exactly how you played because you created chances.
Shrugs off the challenge of Van der Heim.
But one question or conundrum that Mark Skinner will be looking at is how can I get Jess Park into the game more? She's had a couple of touches but has not had no influence on the game yet. Arguably been one of the star players, certainly from a stats point of view, throughout the season. She's in great form.
Takes control, finds Baltimore. James. Baltimore. Well-timed tackle from Riviere. Stops the momentum of Baltimore, but she will come again. Drops the shoulder, not once but twice, and then Riviere does really well. Keeps the concentration. And behind. Some really good hold-up play. Worked them way out of a tight situation. We've got Olma, buffeted by Cuthbert and intercepted. Reaching Cannerid. Oh, with a 58 clearance. Ricochet off reaching Cannerid.
I think he obviously just caught in possession in what could have been a really dangerous area, trying to play out, crowded out by Erin Cuthbert and Richard Cannerid. Good recovery of shape for Manchester United. Albeit Chelsea's season hasn't gone entirely to plan, they are still a top team. More than ever, with any doubters, they'll be wanting to prove that today.
Running away from Turland. She plays in Vanderheim. Needs a bit of support. Here's Park. To go for goal.
Yeah, goal scoring record's excellent from outside box, Jeff Park, but it's got to be exceptional strike to be the world's best goalkeeper from there.
Houston off the ball. Turning inside of Thompson.
Good persistence from Alyssa Thompson. She's not had much going forward. Sometimes in big games, the attacking players stick to the grind of tracking back when you needed to do that job really well.
Sensational ball from Turland. Baltimore just a touch stronger than Park there in that shoulder to shoulder. Turland has played some exceptional passes.
From Lauren James saw where the big gap was after Riviera and made that front forward down the left hand channel, gets herself into there. Good territory, well covered by Janssen. So exciting to see Lauren James back 100% fit. Watching her in England shirt this last window was a joy to see.
They can come from behind this season memorably. 3 goals down against Spurs, managed to get a draw out of that. Can they do it against this Chelsea team who have shown some cracks in the armoury this season, but still have that hold, create that fear factor against opposition. For Riviere.
Well, Manchester United, Mark Skinner will be pleased with the gap they've got into in attacking defence through the back line. The problem is, it's not the world's best goalkeeper when you have done that. We saw in the England against Iceland game, just to reference that, one big goal scoring effort for Iceland, one huge save from Hannah Hampton, and she's fulfilled exactly the same role for Chelsea. She's picking up that number 1 shirt.
Mallard. Tempted towards Vanderheim is cut out. Pushing back though with Manchester United. Male at 58. Played every single minute last season and this season in every competition for Manchester United. Worked apart. Good first touch. We got the Olma. Excellent. Redditton intercepted it, Bella Burman. Janssen now. Turland!
It was wonderful beautiful build-up play from Manchester United. Dominic Janssen sees the space, drives into it, draws players, lays it off to Turland. Gap. Anna Hampton, good start position. Just drifts wide, doesn't it? If that had stayed straight, could have crept in that post.
Still manages to find a teammate in reaching Canarid. Nelson, Riviere. Didn't have too many options there.
Was on before the pass laid off to Riviere. She got between Berman and Buchanan. He'll be happy with a lot of what he's seen from his team. Throw be prepared for Riviere.
Distance on that, bobbling about Malar, can't keep it in.
They were like my keeper, I suppose. Look it up, bounce in the wrong direction, and this is a mistake. Scott, pass from Janssen, missed out by James. Slows down, and then the finish is a no look. Swipe for the left foot. The inside post of Tullis Joyce. Clinical finish.
Yes, in front of her former supporters. Slightly provocative celebration, nothing too hot. I'm not sure how appreciated it was for those behind that goal. Nelson crowded out. Hudson. Drifting wide.
She's got that range, Erin Cuthbert. Driving towards the centre. Edge of the box. Kind of lashes across it from inside to out.
Since October, 14 appearances, Erin Cuthbert in the Champions League game. Paris, Mangaheim. She seems to be growing in stature. Malar, blocked by Lucy Bronze. This time Berman in the way. Also got the Olmer's effort. Turland shrugs off the challenge of reaching Canarid. They're getting closer.
It looked like a Hannah Hampton save. I think that's what Melvin Mallard was asking of the referee, but it was beautiful play, decisive play. Look at that drive from Turland. Just bullies it away between two players, reaching Canarid. No touch. Off target. A bulldozing run from her into the box. Although it's two up front, Turland and Vangerheim, they're not just sitting up front waiting for the ball to come to them. Turland's the one dropping in deeper and driving forward.
And as you can see, Manchester United find themselves behind, but are with the greater attacking threat. Ball in. Well defended, although Gofiolma his pass out was cut out.
we've ever had a 0-0 in the League Cup final, and that remains. That quickly want to tick off the stats, historic stats. It is only that error from Janssen, capitalised on by Lauren James. United are very much matched Chelsea so far.
The team that scored first has won 10 of the previous 12 finals. Manchester still very much in this. Rivier's long throw. Chelsea will flood forward now. Cuthbert. Bronze down the line. Or reaching Canarid. Seems to be finding an awful lot of space over on that side. Working the space towards James. Riviere, a crucial touch, and it's smashed over the top by Cuthbert.
Exciting break, wasn't it? Started by Lucy Bronze down that right hand side, feeds Ritten Canarid, and they're flooding numbers forward. Nuskin just probably needs to hold that gap on the edge of the box, but there's no one else further forward. Lauren James did get caught by Riviere. She cleared that ball. She's fine.
Interesting decision by Mark Skinner to deploy Lundqvist as the left back with Janssen as the centre half. Billy Turner on the bench. Turner, Letitia partnership, one that very consistent usually. Manchester United back line.
Yeah, we've kind of been out for quite a long period of time with various injuries. Janssen was almost an emergency centre half at the beginning of the season. So it's been quite some partnership. So I can totally understand not wanting to break that up.
Here's Wales coming up for you on the BBC tomorrow, 7 o'clock, BBC 4, the Players' Championship highlights. Next offering the Women's Super League, West Ham against Manchester United, Wednesday night on BBC 3, starts at 7:05. Champions League highlights, round of 16 second legs, on Wednesday, 10:40 on BBC 1. And athletics. World Indoor Championships for you Friday at 9 AM on BBC 2. Sterling on to Mallard. Lundqvist making that overlapping run. Mallard turns inside. Finds Jess Park a bit congested down the middle. Manchester United go back, start again.
And looking at a frustrated figure, wanting the switch to get it out to her. She's in acres of space.
Nuskin set through Alyssa Thompson. Thompson to make it two. What a recovery that was.
Wow, I was just thinking that is what Alyssa Thompson is electric at, getting between the centre halves, on the run. Who's catching her? And just as she puts the brakes on to compose herself, Mela Tissier gets in a phenomenal captain's challenge. What a recovery run. Timing. Brilliant from Tissier.
Well, had that been converted, I've got to say, Manchester United really be in trouble in this cup final. Potentially game-saving from Mela Tissier.
players hit the deck now, losing the footing. Getting trickier. Then slow water.
Alice Joyce. Murphy. Clever from the Tissier, felt the contact.
Yeah, very clever from the Tissier. I feel like she's been playing forever, which with the number of accumulation of minutes that she has had, comes game experience, comes the nous, tricks. What a player.
We'll just about keep that in. Hurland. Skipping away from the challenge. The rain is teeming down. Hurland nearly getting a hold of that.
Kira Walsh just doing enough in that pivot role to keep possession for Chelsea.
Just your typical spring day in the kingdom.
Yeah, can't see much beyond the roof of the stadium. Foggy, misty, probably a little more than drizzle pitch side. It'll certainly be a change of boots for some, certainly a change of shirt for others. Stay warm.
Mallard anticipating, still got a lot to do. Up against Buchanan. Well, one back. It's ragged.
No defeat in there though. Fortunately, 6 Chelsea players congesting that central area with Mallard tucking in Manchester United into that central area. There's no bodies to try and get through. Good defending from Chelsea. Mila Berman has been excellent. She's made a couple of really decisive interceptions.
Oh, a little nudge on Lauren James has not been given. Kira Walsh stepping in.
Good battle in midfield. Both managers will have made it very clear that midfield are key. Both teams stopping them is imperative. Kira Walsh and Cuthbert Niskin, given time, can be deadly.
So it's a stoppage time. Just a minute. Game has flowed for the most part. Hurland showing good strength, but didn't quite make her way past Kira Walsh.
That was a sliding doors moment. Kira Walsh is just about to ping the ball back to Hannah Hampton in the corner right. She saw Vangerheim make a motion towards Hannah Hampton.
Great play from Hurland. Could be a great time to score for Manchester United. Mallard quite find the space to shoot. Baltimore doing an exceptional job on her, but she's dug out the cross! Oh! Inches away! Vangerheim can't believe it.
Wow, that is as close as it's got. Brilliant work from Baltimore initially. It looked like she was going to stop Mallard. The ball across. She does, and it's Vangerheim at the whistle. He misses the chance to level things for Manchester United. She shakes her head in disappointment.
How's your luck? The closest in a game where they've had the greater amount of effort and shots on target, but they find themselves behind. The player of the calibre of Lauren James will never miss the types of opportunities that were presented to her. Dominic Janssen with the miss kick, Lauren James profiting and giving Chelsea a slender advantage at the break, but it's been a very competitive cup tie, and Rachel, Manchester United are far from out of this.
Absolutely. I mean, all the difference is obviously the stats at 1-0, but that's purely down to an individual error and then a brilliant composed finish, a cutting-edge world-class bit of composure that was required and was lapsed up by a world-class Lauren James. Nothing other than that between them.
So all to play for in the second half, but it is Chelsea, the holders, with the advantage at the break here at Ashton Gate. Chelsea 1, Manchester United 0 at the break.
Robin, Rachel, thank you very much. Well, Chelsea unbeaten in previous 54 games when they have scored first. So a lot of work for Manchester United to do in this second half. But you said they've got a strong bench when you were looking at Manchester United, Farah.
Yeah, they do. I think if I look at the half, Alex, I think Chelsea have controlled the half, but Manchester United have had the better of the chances. But I looked at the bench because I thought if the game continues the way it does and United create any chances, when you look at the depth they have on their bench and the quality that they can bring on, it's far stronger, which is a bit strange to be saying, than this Chelsea team at this coming time.
I suppose when you look at Chelsea, it's like you know they've got more levels, more gears, but we spoke about their DNA, and it's very much that still they're managing to go in at half time 1-0, Ellen.
Yeah, they've got that winning mentality and never say die attitude, and they have at times they've produced some beautiful football connections, but then they've been caught on the transition, as have Man United. They forced Man United into some mistakes as well, and obviously capitalised for the goal. So overall they'll be very happy to go in at 1-0, and Man United could have been 2 or 3-0 up before the first goal.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me it's been a bit more of a transitional game. I think we probably would have predicted that either Chelsea or Man United would have controlled the game, but it's been quite open for a final. Normally you see these finals a bit nervy, but Chelsea have took an opportunity. Man United have had a chances, probably the better chances, but with this Chelsea team at this moment you can't really predict how they want to play the game. Does this suit them or does it not?
Well, one person you definitely can't predict is Lauren James, because Farah, you highlighted her coming into today's show about this position that she's playing today.
Yeah, she's in the lineup as a number 9, so they're their vocal point. You can see here, this is Chelsea on attack, and you can see Lauren James here highlighted as a deep line midfielder. So really deep, what you want from your centre forward when you're in these types of positions is to occupy centre half and make it difficult. You can see here again, she half makes the channel run, they win the ball, Chelsea, and then you want her to go and occupy. But Lauren James, because of the type of player she is, she wants to stay around the ball. You can just see her highlighted here. Chelsea are now in the final third. Again, as your number 9, that's not where you want to see your number 9. This is where we said before the game, Lauren James much prefers to play. See her out on the left, likes to draw players, can go either way, and actually gets a really good cross into the box. But again, she should be the number 9 in there, attacking that cross. This is the best chance before her goal, Alex. Comes out again on his left-hand side, just hovering, waiting for those 1v1 opportunities. Comes in on her favourite right foot, and that could have gone into the far top corner. There's her quality, but most of them have come off that left-hand side.
But is she just that talented that sometimes as a manager you just go and row?
I think definitely, but I think Chelsea in a stage in the season where nothing's really like clicking as much as it possibly can. But in terms of this game plan, Lauren James wants the ball, she wants to deliver, and I think on this left-hand side, she definitely seems a bit more natural. She's enjoying it a little bit more. She can hear the touch out, I think, and she can get the shot away quite quickly because she's so powerful. And the goal comes from her defensive responsibility. Her job is to mark the centre half. Do I think the United fullback should go back to Janssen? No, I think it's a terrible throw in the sense that it's got too much pace on, but Janssen needs to get rid. But fair play to Lauren James, she closed it down, and when she's in these positions, you bet not she's going to score.
I think for me, if Lauren James is taking up those positions, Nuskin or Thompson or someone has to get beyond and occupy the centre half, which they've been doing very well. Is whether they can keep that going, occupying the centre half, or whether Lauren James is going to continue roaming and the players around her have to be watching what she's doing to help them progress up the pitch.
I think Ellen's right there. It is about taking up those positions, but I think the connection's not there. So it's really difficult to work on somebody that has that freedom of play that Lauren James is seeing. So they are getting into the positions and occupying them, but not in sync, and that's probably why it's breaking down in the final third for Chelsea.
And I suppose, Ellen, talk to me about Manchester United, because they've built their way into this game, and actually they have had some chances. They have had some chances, and they've broken lines. They've been able to run at the back line of Chelsea. Turlen in particular, really great dribbling, driving, shots from outside the box. They've had about 4 or 5 from outside the box. They could have capitalised, but they need that end product. We talked, Steph talked at the top of the show about Jess Park, the way that she can score from outside the box. It's taken advantage of those mistakes and those opportunities that Chelsea have given them, but then it's the strike, it's the end product. They have to capitalise, because Chelsea could go down the upper end and they could score. So they've had great chances. They'll be disappointed to go in at 1-0 down.
I think Turlen's did a great job around the defensive midfielders of Cuthbert and Walsh in terms of getting in around them and creating their own chances. And when they've got positions where they can drive at the goal, Chelsea are trying to drop off, whereas you need people to go to the ball. But ultimately, they're creating the chances, and now it's that next final part of decision making, the quality that Chelsea have shown for many years.
Yeah, and I think for United, and we spoke about it, haven't we? They've had the better of the chances. Example, testing the goalkeeper Hannah Hampton, but all of those have come from outside the box. So for Chelsea, they will be pretty comfortable that they actually haven't got in behind this Chelsea backline. I think if they do, that's where the better of the chances will come.
Okay, well, coming up on Friday is comic relief, so a chance for us all to be a little bit silly, but of course also a great cause.
Crikey, Britain. It's all a bit much these days, isn't it? I think we could all do with a bit of a laugh.
So let's make time to let our hair down.
Now.
Ready to make an alteration here. Be interesting to see what sort of impact this will make on the game. I'm sure Sonia Bonpastor would not have been that pleased with the amount of chances that her team were giving up in that first half. And so of course Manchester United might have to respond in kind as well, having failed to really capitalise on any of the chances they fashioned in that first half. So yes, a change for Chelsea with Alyssa Thompson coming off and Aggie Beever-Jones on in her place. Alyssa Thompson had a golden opportunity to make it 2-0 and really get the game beyond Manchester United. She's withdrawn, and Aggie Beever-Jones, who started the season so brilliantly, has struggled with injury issues and scored just once in the last 14 appearances. Last season's top scorer on, more of a traditional number 9, which perhaps means we might see, well, I was going to say, a different role for Lauren James, but seeing where Aggie Beever-Jones is at the moment, maybe not.
Yeah, she started out on that left-hand side, but we talked quite a bit in the first half, the amount of rotation that Lauren James, whether she instigates it or not, the front three certainly will rotate across that front line. And yes, Aggie Beever-Jones is a potent goal scorer, more so than Alyssa Thompson, of a wide player.
Alyssa Thompson arrived from Angel City in the US in the summer. I think it's still a really good start to her Chelsea career. I'm not sure she's very used to playing in conditions such as these.
Yeah, not the conditions of later on in the season that we used to in the NWSL, sure. But I think like every player who comes into the WSL for the first time from the NWSL or Norwegian League or Swedish League, Germany, whichever country, from Asia or Australia, it takes them a while to get used to it because the intensity week in, week out is off the scale.
Well, slightly better. Oh, and look at that. Sonia Bonpastor has taken her hood down for the first time in the afternoon. That means the weather must be getting better.
I think it stopped raining. You might need a sunglasses soon.
Rubier. Oh, Mallard! Great attempt.
Yeah, lovely improv, wasn't it? It was just behind her, so she couldn't get a head on it. Quickly angled her body, good ball in for Riviere. And it does come off the shoulder of the defender of Kadish Buchanan. That's why Lucy Bronze is chasing it down hard. Easy escape for Chelsea.
Gotta love the attempt. Well, that's given away. Buchanan to Nalson. Will she take on herself? It's Nalson! Turned aside by Hanson.
Too close to Hampton for it to be a problem. She's always going to save it from there. And that's what Chelsea have limited Manchester United to, backing their goalkeeper. Shots from distance. Manchester United have started what Chelsea did in the first half.
Corner kick. Got the Allman. Towards the back post. It's one. In the first instance, but cleared away.
Ireland often the target from corners. You should do really well to get head on it there. Chelsea have dealt with those first contacts pretty well generally. subjecting Hannah Hampson to anything from close range.
Clearance. Baltimore allowed to take it down and play the pass down the line. 58. Straight to Nuskin. James somehow manages to poke that through for Nuskin. Dispossessed. Step forward, wasn't it, in half time, saying it was a very transitional game. She's absolutely right about that. No side really keeping hold of it for huge amounts of time.
And that's continued in the open exchange the second half. Times when you felt Chelsea put their foot on the ball, wanting to take control of the game in the first half. Manchester United just wouldn't let them.
Reaching Canarid. Slide stays down. And it's a telegraph cross. Certainly not intended.
Yeah, she's not been as impactful as we have seen her previously, Canarid.
Bronze. Oh, James lets it roll. Possessed by her France international teammates, and James can't quite stretch enough. Dangerous ball in from Baltimore.
Yeah, lovely bit of play by Lauren James. Little over, recognition of the picture around her. Watching on.
Dave, Serena Wiegman. A very good start to World Cup qualifying. 2 wins, goals scored. Currently above Spain on goal difference. That meeting next month at Wembley. I'm talking about rivalry.
That game also, celebration of 499 England games. There'll be a lot of formal lessons there, paraded on the pitch. I'd shy away from things like that. I'll be there.
With the one waving maniacally. Always good to have that connection. The past and look to the future. Good distance on that clearance. It's probably awkward bouncing ball, and Janssen hesitated. Lauren James didn't. Powering forward.
Well, she's been such a brilliant, willing runner at left-hand channel, targeted by Lucy Bronze. Knew that Lauren James would be able to manufacture something from that. Just overruns it ever so slightly, very similar to charge down the right hand side in the first half.
Peter Jones going to run at goal. Riviere 6 out of leg. Turland. Slight ball for her, tries to find Mallard.
Woodman's done a really quiet but steady job in that centre half position. Millie Bright out injured, Naomi Germer out injured. Kelly Bjorn back on the bench for Chelsea, strengthen their numbers in that position.
Lucy Cameron. Stretching the play once again. Cross is wayward. And confirmed attendance here, 21,619, a Women's League Cup final record. Well supported from all ends of the country, Chelsea and Manchester United supporters.
What a wonderful time to be part of women's football and seeing its growth and feeling its growth.
Also the community it's created. Here is Park. Releases just in time, Nelson. Olma, robbed by Nuskin. Lauren James. Greeting Cameron. Olma did well there, and Lauren James not quite so proficient in the tackling department, and a yellow card for Lauren James.
Tackle from behind, is it? Trying to get round the side. I don't think that's tackle from behind. Outside leg, round the outside. Should be a little bit hard done to. Have a little word in the referee's ear at the end of the first half. Maybe not the favourite pupil on the pitch.
We admire the effort for trying to get back. She did lose the ball. And a change coming for Manchester United. Olma. Kira Walsh brings it forward. Slides rule pass for Beaver Jones. Not for the first time that Tissier makes the challenge, but the flag is up anyway.
Yeah, I think she had just edged offside Beaver Jones. Just fractionally, but enough. Right ball. Sloppy from Manchester United, again caught in possession. This time by Nuskin pinching the ball. It's Kira Walsh. Beaver Jones just enough to be a straightforward decision. Manchester United looking to ready 2 substitutions and 2 extremely experienced substitutes.
Ones that will be certainly desperate to make an impact. James. Lucy Bronze. Poked out of play by Park.
Never any doubt that Lucy Bronze was going to be a key player in success of Chelsea this season, and she looked as sprightly and as hungry for success as ever.
Baltimore. Alice Joyce comes, gets something, Beaver Jones. Her shot is blocked. James curls it in, it's a wicked delivery. Baltimore. That was Kadisha Buchanan. Still up there from the back.
Yeah, it was a brilliant block initially from Ziggiotti, and then the way that Lauren James puts the arc on the ball. Buchanan should have done better.
Jay Riviere is coming off. Showing very good energy and industry. On the right hand side, Friedlina Rolfer making her 14th major final appearance. Lea Schuller also coming on. Scored a hat-trick in the German Cup final for Bayern Munich last season. She comes on in place to Ellen Zangerheim.
Rolfer at left back, Lundqvist right back.
Schuller straight into the action. Mallard. Delicate touch from Lauren James. Janssen clears up, finds Mallard. Shepherded inside. Schuller's ball cut out. Retreats, Ritin Kaneryd.
Ritin Kaneryd did really well there because that ball would have been to roll for her Manchester United players. Fans will want her high up the pitch attacking. She can offer something special.
Not often that Chelsea's opponents have the deeper squad for various reasons, international duty, injury. Manchester United have recruited well. Can they make the difference? Both very seasoned internationals for Germany and Sweden for Fridolina Rolfer.
Yeah, Rolfer coming beginning of the season. Schuller, the January transfer, along with Lundqvist and others. Mark Skinner and his team have recruited really well. I think this season possibly more so than ever. The recognition of last time they were in Europe, the deficit, it hit them hard in the WSL. It was really difficult to balance both.
Bronze finds James. Rolfer back for Alice Joyce. Here's Park. Turland. If I get that right.
Ziggy Artioma is doing some running. Choose the option to play out the back from Rolfer. It's a lovely threaded pass from Rolfer.
Natalie Bjorn coming on for Chelsea. First appearance since November. What a serious hamstring injury. She replaces Kadisha Buchanan, who is also still building up that match fitness after a long time out.
Yeah, she was a savvy signing from Everton, Natalie Bjorn, this time last year. Well, he went under the radar, I think, and Emma Hayes snapped her up.
Really good close control from Park. Finds Rolfer. So technically gifted. Happy to receive the ball under pressure. Send forward. LB Mallard. Flag stays down. Trying to turn inside. The flag is up.
Mallard holding knee or an ankle. Does just edge offside. Gets the wrong side of Baltimore. It's good defending from Baltimore. The way that system them just put the flag up earlier on, or let the play on. But for Manchester United, they'll be happy to see Mallard recover from that. Been threatening.
As a reminder, we do have VAR if it's required.
Quiet afternoon so far for that team.
Over the top for Ritin Kaneryd. well for with some really good defending. Fresh legs.
And what a player to bring on in a cup final. To be no issues with coming on to a big occasion. She's played in the biggest of the big occasions.
Natalie Bjorn, who's only just come on. This is heartbreaking. You can see 3.5 months out with injury, and just been on the field a matter of minutes. It is just so heartbreaking to see.
We've just seen the replay. He's just retreating, backing off. And thanks to the calf that she's holding straight away. And she looks so delighted to be coming onto the pitch. Big smile when she high-fived with Kadisha Buchanan to come on. They seem so minor, in the scope of worldwide problems, but for these girls, it's everything. It's the detail of what they put in, day in, day out. It's all and everything they want to be and do is to be on that pitch.
Well, as Natalie Bjorn receives treatment, this is the goal that separates the sides, and it will be a real sickener if this is the difference.
Yeah, it's a lovely finish. Everything as a goalkeeper, you're expecting the player to go across you. And that's what Lauren James knows. Left-footed. She shapes to go around, across the goalkeeper, and just slots it in at the near post.
Well, totally devastating. You can see real concern from her teammates.
Well, they need to look after her physically and mentally. I was a little worried when Marina Ramirez was talking about how low she's been out with injury, hamstring tear, required surgery. These girls are a long way from home, from their real home, from their actual families, and they need to be looked after as family at the club. I'm sure they are. This will be a low point for Natalie Bjorn. Hope she can come back safely.
So Bjorn is off. Vika Kaptein is on in her place, and so a reshuffle for Chelsea. Looks like Lucy Bronson now a centre half. Reaching Canner in. Oh, and well, to be another stoppage. Levered away, head injury.
She's only been on 30 seconds.
Reaching, yes. Welcome to the game, Vika Kaptein. Again, possibly seconds after coming on.
Yeah, nice little slide roll pass down the outside from Lauren James, reaching Cannerid. Point blank. Bullet in the head.
A chance to tell you what's coming up on the BBC. The Golf Players Championship highlights you can watch on BBC 4. That's tomorrow from 7. The next offering in the Women's Super League on BBC 3 Wednesday night. Manchester United back in action at West Ham. UEFA Champions League highlights from the second leg of the round of 16. Wednesday on BBC 1 at 10:40. Next Friday, 9 AM start on BBC 2 in the Athletics the World Indoor Championships. Drop ball, meeting Cannerid. Gets things going for Chelsea. Gotion, Park's touch, presents it to Kira Walsh. Baltimore, now Cuthbert.
Okay, I'm just going to think it's gone to right back. One of those wonderful utility players. She's played like as a centre forward and scored great goals in the 10, in the 8, in the 6. And I'll be played in the number 2.
James whips it in. Coutier got ahead to it.
Well defended, because that's the beauty of a ball from Lauren James. Down this right side, cuts it onto the left. Swerves in, just needs that little yard and does that so well.
Foul on. Ostiolma by Erin Cuthbert.
She's done some mileage, hasn't she, Ziggy Ostiolma today? Been that pivot role and getting the ball off the defence. Bit of a tight one here, but a bit of a late one from Cuthbert. We've seen Erin Cuthbert in the WSL and whatever competition. She's leaves nothing on the pitch.
She's been talking about how difficult this season has been, falling behind in the title race. 9 points behind Manchester City ahead of this weekend.
What a situation they used to be in.
Park. And United were for shooting opportunity. Quite keep hold of it. Berman helps it on and sets Baltimore away. Lucky ricochet, big capside, dispossessed. Now it will be Mala. Inside for Turland, just behind her. Heather straight back. Just Park, Turland. Difficult one for Sure to collect. Just feels like they are rushing things a little bit.
They're getting a little bit desperate now, Manchester United. They thought with the stats of more shots than Chelsea in that first half that they would have got one on target, been able to equalise. It just hasn't happened, and getting a little bit frustrated, maybe a little lack of belief starting to creep in from Manchester United. So that's what Chelsea have done on so many occasions, is just managed the game so well to gain in the lead.
Reece Canaris. Space for James. This could spell danger. Lauren James trying to place it.
Yeah, decent effort, but well matched by Tullis Joyce. Saw it all the way. Watch Tullis Joyce, the footwork that she shows, knows what she's going to do, gets the feet moving, which makes it a simple save. Diving the forward to your goal. Sort of time that Manchester United fans would normally look to Rachel Williams warming up on the sideline. Last minute equaliser needed. She's no longer here.
Schiller's touch. Rebounds off her. Struggling to make it stick.
Chelsea just making them go, making them chase the ball, trying to answer them. Nice.
Stevie Jones. Olsen forcing her wide.
Excellent game management from Chelsea there. Playing the ball across the back, making Manchester United chase, break the shape. And put the ball long, gain territory, slow the game down. These are all the tricks that Chelsea have learned over such a successful, lengthy period.
This is Manchester United's 33rd game of the season, going through qualifying to get to the Champions League proper in the league phase, which they navigated, but then needed a play-off as well. So it's been very busy season for them, schedule they're not used to.
I tell you what, if you ask any of the girls, would you rather train or would you rather play a match? 100% they would say play a match, so they would prefer probably more matches, less training. And it's one of the debates about the League Cup and the format for next season.
Houston plays it off Rolfoot for a Chelsea corner.
Chelsea winding this clock down brilliantly. Walking over, taking their time. Manchester United are going to have to make their move from the bench soon.
Baltimore's delivery flipped towards goal by Cuthbert. Stands, Sonia Bonpastor's domestic cup record remains unblemished. Only defeats in the WSL, which came this season against Everton, and then Manchester City, and in the Champions League. Here's Lauren James, trying to put this game to bed. Sophie Olmer, still boundless energy. Rolfer, some really good footwork, but just ran out of space. Greeting Cannerid with the cross. Beaver Jones takes it home! And makes it two! And surely secures another trophy for Chelsea! The Charlton Chelsea supporter with another moment to remember.
I'm absolutely delighted for Aggie Beaver-Jones. She has to be so patient, and this is no more than a half chance, but look at the way how she grapples with Lundqvist, shoves her off, ensures that the ball lands to her and that she is first to the drop down. That ball doesn't favour the defender, it doesn't favour Beaver-Jones. She makes it hers and she scoffs it accurately. We talked about Alyssa Thompson not being a potent goal scorer. That's what Beaver-Jones brings, is that half chance, the dead eye for goal. And what a time to get a goal for Chelsea. That is not a lucky finish, that is, I know where the corner of the goal is, I know what I can do, a little toe poke, delight for the Chelsea fan and player.
The most delicate of toe pokes. And that should just put this tie out of reach for Manchester United. For all of Chelsea's vulnerabilities.
They just need to see this out now. Sonia Bonpastor, Mark Skinner, not quite head in hand, but he'll feel not had the rub of the green. But ultimately, Chelsea, when they have had a sniff of something, they've had the better quality players to put the ball in the back of the net.
Clears up. Not sitting comfortably just yet. Manchester United still have quality on the field. Again, they might just feel this is an opportunity missed. Scofiolma's corner. Confident take by Mampton.
Good, strong, early shout. Allows the defence to cover you as a goalkeeper, protect you. Well, Chelsea's defence have been excellent today. They've been resolute. They've protected Hannah Hampton excellently well. Breaking play because there's mystery injury from Tullis Joyce.
I'm not sure what you're insinuating, Rachel Brown-Fitness. But it's interesting.
80-minute itis.
Contagious around the WSL. The NWSL, the American League, has just restarted, and they have now said when the goalkeeper goes down, you are not allowed to go to speak to your coach. So the timeout is just a timeout and not a tactical timeout. Now whether that's, I'm not going to say stamps this out because Tullis Joyce might be suffering. But clearly it's an issue that is being talked about.
Yeah, I can understand. I mean, 10 minutes to go, 2 goals down, cup final. What's an extra 30 seconds? Not too bothered. Not really kind of had a negative impact on the game. Until they change the rules, and that's an option. There you go. Glad Tullis Joyce is all right.
Here's Schiller. Schiller and Rolfe have really had the desired impact so far. Still, well, just under 10 minutes to go, but maybe more because of the stoppage time. Oh, Beaver Jones and Letitia in a clash, but both of them got up pretty promptly.
Both got big smiles on the face, heard the ooze from the crowd. Here it is, eyes on the ball, both of them, the aftermath. Well, none of them felt it. Both they got up.
I think I felt it from up here more than they did.
Well, we're getting into times when you're thinking, right, are they going to throw from Manchester United trying to get back into the game? They're going to throw centre half up. What are you going to do to try and affect Chelsea because it's been tepid? Manchester United have looked less like scoring in this second half. Chelsea have been exceptional defensively. Lauren James, her work rate today looks fully fit and has been really, really, really impressive. Sticking to her role, both attacking as well as defensively.
Marks can feel the outcome could have been so different. Although again, we've said that so many times in these games between these two. And they've won just once, and that was in a semi-final of an FA Cup, which Manchester United went on to win 2 years ago. Now the big moment for them, but it still seems Chelsea have their number.
Well, Chelsea know exactly what to do. Just last 10 minutes or so.
James motoring forward. It's Lauren James. Draws a very good save from Tullis Joyce.
So impressive, Lauren James. How quick she pulls the trigger on this. So yes, again, sniffed out a scruffy throw-in from Manchester United. Sloppy play, predatory forward play from Lauren James. But look how under that strike is. On the pullback to the strike, Tullis Joyce's positioning was key to be able to turn that round the post.
Bouncing around in there. Beaver Jones up in the air, away.
Beaver Jones will be desperate to impress the new boss, the boss, England boss that's here, Serena Wiegman, Dame Serena Wiegman in the stands, and she has done. She loves to have a goal scorer come off the bench, if nothing else. Beaver Jones would accept that.
The substitute appearance against Ukraine, this international break, Beaver Jones. Nelson. Sent forward James. Lauren James coming back from the offside position. Simi Awujo scored off the bench against Chelsea in the previous game in the FA Cup. Juliet Zagotti on the, well, for her part she couldn't have done much more.
No, she was outstanding for Manchester United. Zigiotti. Awujo just offers more of an aerial presence. You're trying to get yourself back into the game, Manchester United.
Getting ready to come on for Chelsea. Janssen. Now Nelson.
Again down to the excellent pressure for the front three. Chelsea.
To make her way through a blue brick wall. 3 minutes of time plus stoppages to go. Sent forward. Bronze wins the header. Janssen gets there in the end. Here is Lundqvist.
Done a number on Park today.
Nelson. Good challenge from James.
That's really what's been more impressive for me, Lauren James. Yes, we know she's excellent going forward and she's got unbelievable skill set. The work rate to help the team out is exceptional.
Schiller. Calmly dealt with by Bronze. With the 2-goal cushion, Chelsea all back defending. Confident that they won't be breached twice before the game is up. Corner kick.
Ain't going to be too many people left back for Manchester United, and Tullis Joyce is hanging around. Desperate measures now for Manchester United. Now or never.
Always huge anticipation when the goalkeeper comes up.
Lauren James like, well, who's marking her?
I guess it's you. See if Tullis Joyce can cause a few problems. Over her head. Over hold of it, Thomas Joyce on the retreat. Again, Bronze, dominant in the air.
Hasn't happened for Manchester United, and it's not as simple as that. Chelsea have worked so hard out of possession. They've found themselves out of possession a lot.
Comes in. Again, Chelsea head to it first. Awujo blocked. 8 minutes of added time. Not impossible, but Manchester United is going to have to show a cutting edge that has been lacking.
Chelsea just waking up the momentum of Manchester United. Mallard wanted to make that sub quickly.
Lauren James gets a reaction from all four sides, mainly a positive one from those decks in blue. Lexi Potter, 19-year-old academy product, on in the cup final. Mallard's cross, shout from Hampton. Was she caught?
Quick swipe from Lucy Bronze. I think it hurt Lucy Bronze more than it hurt Hannah Hampton, but those two have been brilliant today for Chelsea. Communication only keeps getting better between them.
Nelson still plugging away towards Awujo and Turland. Brilliant defending. Lucy Bronze getting herself in the way. Eva Jones with little support, will just try and run the clock down.
Yeah, excellent tactics. What a block that was, by the way, by Lucy Bronze. As always, willing to put her body on the line.
I think we forget that we all admire her attacking prowess. But first and foremost, she is a brave defender and one who just seems to know exactly where the danger's coming from.
And such a wonderful athlete, her agility to be able to change direction there. Get that first to the ball, key interception. Needs to get the ball forward, Fuller's choice.
In this situation, it's so hard, isn't it, for Manchester United? Chelsea just have to defend. And they have done so brilliantly again. Berman showing Schiller away from goal. Here's Nelson. It's Tissier. Turland. Mallard! And off the line. The flag is up. And Lucy Bronze had to make sure.
And this is what infuriates me about the offside. Persistent flagging late. Potential of injuries to the goalkeeper, or as we've seen, Lucy Bronze. Lucy Bronze puts her hand up, no, thinks it's offside. It looked pretty saved though from Hannah Hampton. Comes down the line of the ball, gets big, all that strength and conditioning. What a battle axe Lucy Bronze is.
There's no concern for her personal safety at all. And managed to nod it on to Mallard for a goal kick. Defending the goal with her life. Lundqvist for Manchester United. Malson. Arujo. Play, it's a corner kick.
And they do something in these last couple of minutes, Man United.
It's Tierney. Goal kick. And as we approach full time here in the League Cup final, Rachel, your Subway player of the match.
Well, outstanding from beginning to end, made the difference getting that first goal, but as I talked about, her effort for the whole team to work out of possession has been sensational. Welcome back to full fitness. Laura James is my Subway player of the match. Say that Chelsea's backline has been unbelievable. Neela Berman, Lucy Bronze, particularly in that, as Lucy Bronze is now in a central role, but read the game brilliantly. Exciting young player, Berman.
Presented it here to Leah Schuller. Angle is tight. She's got Lucy Bronze ahead of her. Leah Schuller. Not sure if that wasn't an attempt on goal, but it's going to be retrieved here by Jess Park. 1 minute of stoppage time remaining. Arujo's header picked up by Rolfer. Worked out of play. And that might be that.
Again, relentless carrying from Erin Cuthbert, forced that error. Dispossessed Manchester United. So hard to play against Chelsea. They were gifted that opening goal, arguably. Still had to be finished brilliantly. They just kept the foot down. As valiantly as Manchester United have battled, quality in the final third showed when Agatha Jones carved out the second all by herself.
That's one final attack. Steve Jones. Speaker capsized. Then forward towards Mallard. Joyce can't keep it in. There's no time for the corner. Chelsea retain the League Cup. A fourth felt they gave up chances, perhaps passage of play where they weren't at their best. They have bested Manchester United again, and you can't fault their work. A fully deserved triumph once again for Chelsea, who even in a season of inconsistency, they still win, and they've done it again. Mark Skinner will wonder what could have been after Manchester United showed real promise, especially in the first half, but they failed to build on it. Chelsea showing their quality of champions to emerge victorious once again. Well, it could have gone a different way, but it's a familiar tale in the end. Chelsea just win.
They have that hard veneer, that hard edge, which today came out in relentless running, defending from the front all the way back through. You think Hannah Hampton possibly had one save of note in the first half, a fizzer where it bounced just before and managed to scruff it wide. And other than that, Chelsea did all their defending in front, were hard to break down, hard to penetrate, and when they got their chances, they finished so efficiently. They still are champions. If anyone ever doubted that, then today is your answer.
Let's get some instant reaction from the stand-in Chelsea captain. Erin Cuthbert is with Joe Curry.
Well, Erin, before the match you said United would be tricky, you battled them, you battled the rain, but in the end Chelsea were just too good. Sum that one up for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was a battle. You know, it's always hard coming off the back of an international break. It's not really off form. You don't really know how it's going to go. But you just got to, like I said in the pre-match interview, you just got to find a way to win, and we did that today, and I think we were pretty dominant over the course of the game.
To do it as captain, it's pretty special, isn't it?
I mean, just looking over and seeing the sea of blue flags, it's special. I've been here a long time. It means the same every single time I win a trophy, but I mean, as captain, you take a lot of the responsibility, so what a day.
I know you're going to take a minute to really enjoy this moment, but what can this trophy now do for this team moving forward this season?
That's it, like, we've got another game on Wednesday. It's just got to give us momentum, it's got to give us belief that we are a good team. You know, we've had up and down spells this season, but we're a good team and we can beat anybody on our day.
Are you giving out a little celebration tonight?
No, Gatto's already won, there's no chance.
We've got to enjoy this moment, well done.
Thank you.
Well, it's another trophy for Erin Cuthbert, another trophy for Chelsea. Fourth time getting their hands on this trophy today. 18th trophy overall. They just know how to keep winning, Tara Williams.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought they were exceptional today, Alex. I think with and without the ball, you could see there was only one team that was determined to pick up this trophy. As I said, they had a few injuries coming into this. Derma coming back off international football, she would have been a starter. They obviously had to play Buchanan, who's coming back off a long-term injury. She was only able to play 60 minutes. Then they brought on a substitution for her and Beyond, who gets injured minutes into coming on. And having to reshuffle the team around the way they did and manage and control the game and see it out the way they did, phenomenal for them today, I thought.
Yeah, I think they showed a lot of resilience, and it was interesting what Erin Cuthbert was saying. This is straight after an international, so they haven't had a lot of time to prepare. They haven't had a couple of games just to get ready for this cup final. They've come straight in as a club, so yeah, I think they've done brilliantly well. A great win for them, and like I said, that could be a catalyst for them moving forward.
Okay, let's get straight back over to Jo, who's got the player of the match with her.
Well, Lauren, a League Cup winner, a goal scorer on the day. How would you sum up your afternoon?
Amazing afternoon. It's so nice to get another trophy to start off the rest of the season, and yeah, it's always nice to get on the score sheet to help the team win.
Do you remember much about your goal at this point?
Yeah, I just remember winning the ball and then thinking, yeah, all I had in sight was a goal and to put it away.
There were some big names missing for Chelsea today. How deep did you guys have to dig out there?
Yeah, I think massive, but you know, we have a squad full of quality and everyone digs in, everyone fills in, whether we had interest, like Theo filling in numerous positions today and Lucy, it just goes to show what the quality everyone has.
This team always seems to find a way in the big moments. What was the difference today between you and United, do you think?
I think it's just in our DNA, we always find a way to win, whether we play well or not.
we always make sure that no matter what, we put up a fight and we make it hard to beat.
And how does this team now have to use this trophy going into the rest of the season?
Massive. I think we need to use it as momentum, and hopefully we can use this game as another step forward and keep working hard and trying to achieve our dreams.
You just see me trying to struggle to hold on to this trophy. You are the Subway Player of the Match. Congratulations. It is a heavy one. Where's this one going to live in your house?
Yeah. Along with all the others.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Lauren James, we finally got a smile at the end, handing over the Player of the Match trophy, and I'm delighted to be joined right now by Sonia Bonpastor. A huge congratulations, another trophy. This was the first one you managed to get your hands on when you took over this club at Chelsea. What does it mean to you to get that win today?
Yeah, I think it means a lot. You know, when you play a final and you have the opportunity to grab a trophy, I told the players before the game, the winners, they just win trophies. So I'm really pleased for my players. We worked hard, and yeah, we have a really big month with lots of games. That's the best way to start the month.
Is that why this is so important today? Because it can be that boost and that start.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when you have the opportunity to win, to grab a trophy, you have to take that opportunity. Again, I think when you are a winner, that's what you do. And I think I'm glad for my players because, again, they deserve it.
I noticed that your team were more front-footed right early on in the game. Was that part of the tactics to get on top really early?
I think I would say as a manager, I always like my team to be front-footed and to have a high press. Some of the games, sometimes it goes also with the confidence. I think when the players are fully confident, it's easier for them to do that. I think we went back to a good level of confidence, and I think we can recognize a little bit better the team in that aspect.
Sonia, you've got injuries that have been well documented. You've got a lot of experienced players out. How impressed were you with Berman today? A young girl playing centre half against a very good attacking team. I mean, Lauren James got player of the match with me and Farrell were really, really impressed with her at centre half today.
Yeah, I think they probably all deserve a lot of good things because as a team we did a good game. But as you just mentioned, I think I was for 8 years ahead of the academy in my previous club, and I love to work with the young players. I love to develop them as individuals, and I think you can see Verle had the opportunity since January to play more minutes for us. She's doing extraordinarily difficult one well. And yeah, she's really performing at the highest level, and I'm glad with that because yeah, she's young but she has a lot of talent.
Sonia, what can your team achieve this season?
Hopefully we can grab more trophies. That's why we are coming every day on pitch. We want to give our all. I think we have a lot of quality. So I think, yeah, I'm hoping for us to be able in this month to perform at our best level because we have big games coming, big competitions, and we want to go as far as possible in every competition. I think, yeah, that's what we want to do and what we want to achieve.
Sonia, just on the injuries, how close is Millie White to returning? Obviously, Derma picked up a small knock from international duty.
Yeah, so I think Naomi just picked up a small injury in her calf. Hopefully it's not too bad and she could be available for the next game. But it's crucial in this time of the year when it's business end of the season to have all your players, because you can see in a game like today when you have to bring fresh legs and different options into the game, it helps to have a big bench. So yeah, for Millie, I don't have a time frame yet, but I would like her to be available as soon as possible. Hopefully, maybe not on Wednesday, but for the weekend.
Sonia, I'm having a look and they're getting ready for the trophy celebration, so
yeah,
I do not want you to miss that.
Please. That's really important to enjoy and to celebrate.
It's your fourth one as Chelsea manager,
yeah, that's
so
true.
huge congratulations.
Yeah, trophies never get old. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just us as people.
Yeah, that's true. My recall.
Thank you so much, Sonia. It's impressive. You know, there's been a lot of chat around Chelsea and the changes and everything going on. So this could be a huge moment for this club once again, Farah.
Yeah, definitely. There has been a lot of noise, and that's because what they've done, you've mentioned 18 trophies, Alex, over a period of time where everybody expects and is so used to Chelsea winning. And when they have a blip the way that they did, I think, you know, losing back-to-back games against, you know, their competitors in Manchester City and Arsenal, I think eyebrows are raised and questions are asked, and that's what's happened. But I think they've really bounced back well from that that they've come together as a group, and I think Erin Cuthbert, the one in our screen now, I think she's pivotal for that, and you heard her speak there. They regrouped, we've spoken to her before when we were at Tottenham, she spoke about they had to regroup as players, you know, take out management. As players, they know the levels they can get to, and I really felt they proved that today. Even Aggie Jones, when she came into the team, had a point to prove and got a goal as well.
We're seeing Letizia right there. We've been speaking a lot about Chelsea, and rightly so, but how tough will this be for them once again, getting to a final and losing out to Chelsea, Ellen?
Yeah, it's going to be a huge disappointment. You know, they probably felt like this was the best time to potentially face Chelsea. You know, they've got great squad, great depth, they're performing well. Man United, obviously they lost to them in the FA Cup, but they've gone 12 unbeaten. They're scoring a lot of goals, not conceding too many. So this was a real great chance for them to get their name written into the history books in their sense for the League Cup. So huge disappointment, but they've got big games coming up. You know, they've got to retain their place in the Champions League, within the league in the WSL. Then also they've got a massive game in the Champions League coming up against Bayern Munich. So they've still got loads to play for.
Yeah, I think for me, in this final today, it was all about details and that final bit of quality. I think United had some very, very good moments here against Chelsea, where on that transition in the stretch, Chelsea, they got in behind, they created opportunities, but United have been so clinical this season, and today it just didn't click. So is it that mentality that we spoke so highly about with Chelsea? They're used to playing in these big matches, they make their moments happen. United, this is a team that's strong, but I do agree in the sense of they'll be so disappointed that this is the best opportunity for United to go and grab a trophy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think you're right, Steph, in that it is about those small margins and a difference in quality when you got into those final thirds, and even defensively. Obviously the error for the first goal, and that was the difference. Chelsea didn't give Manchester United anything, and when Man United had the chances at the other end, they didn't quite have that little bit of quality that was needed in order to create something. So I think that was the difference today. What we saw with Chelsea, they've been here so many times, and it did look like that today. It looked like they were more familiar, than what Manchester United were in this sort of environment with a crowd like this.
Okay, well, I've had word Sonia has made it back. She is going to be in position to be lifting that trophy very soon. So it's time to leave us right now and hand you back to Robin and Rachel.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. You can see the contrast and emotion that always is on display in these cup finals. But yes, for both sides, no time to dwell on the defeat or the victory, both in WSL action this Wednesday. Chelsea waiting to receive their winners' medals as international teammates console each other. And we will have also presentation for the match officials as well. And yeah, as mentioned, Rachel, even though we did have VAR in operation and goal line technology, it wasn't required, thank goodness.
Yeah, they could head out for their Mother's Day lunch, celebrations, you're right. Quiet one, but that's nice, isn't it? There's a fan watching on, a pure game of football, no VAR intervention.
And Sonia Bonpasto has some of her entourage in tow as well, ready to celebrate. And the officials, Grace Lowe, Isabel Chapman and John Ashworth-Sears. Matt Flint, the Senior Marketing Manager of Subway. Dawn Airy there, Chair of Barclays WSL, and Nikki Doucette, CEO of WSL Football there to present the officiating team. Rob Martin, the fourth official.
Need to do some box-to-boxes after having nothing to do on VAR today.
There is Sonia Bonpasto, mother of four. So yes, not a bad Mother's Day present for her.
The juggle is real.
And here come Manchester United, so the runners-up. Their first ever League Cup final. Fourth domestic final in all. They're still very much in the infancy of their history. And again, just that one big psychological hurdle they need to clear. And it seems to always be in the form of Chelsea in these big events and occasions. I'm certain it will happen for them one day. For these players in particular, it will be probably a saving grace. They do have a game to focus on coming up so quickly, and attention can turn back to the WSL. They are currently second ahead of this weekend at least, a point above Chelsea, and they performed admirably today, but again, just those big moments didn't take the chances.
No, but their rise to consistent Champions League qualification, top 3 in the Women's Super League, is so impressive. So hard to do as the rest of the team, not in those coveted positions, only know too well. They've got a wonderful spine of the team, a strong, brave, courageous leader, wearing the captain's armband as a Tissier.
Yes, they have WSL to focus on, trying to get in the Champions League, try and get automatic qualification to the Champions League proper by finishing in the top 2. They also have this season's Champions League and a couple of huge fixtures against Bayern Munich in the quarterfinals. It's a really exciting future ahead. It's the first time they've been fighting on so many fronts, and they're building something big. Today though, not their day. It is again a day that belongs to Chelsea. Some final words from the boss, Bob Pastor. Now is that a 2 days off? I doubt it. 2 drinks? Again, I'm not sure. But either way, it has been an unsettling season. They have been knocked down a few times. It's been unlike them, and yet they come away with yet another trophy in the cabinet. Bob Pastor, she remains unbeaten in domestic cup competition for Chelsea, and just the one cup final as a coach in which she's been defeated, and that was in the Champions League final when she was Lyon coach against Barcelona. Precious memories and a real inspiration on Mother's Day of all days. Strong, successful mother of 4, someone that we should all look up to. Lucy Bronze, a warrior once again, will be picking up her 24th club trophy. Yeah, outrageous, outrageous. There's a team full of winners. Lexi Potter got her taste of final action, joined at Chelsea at the age of 8. Lauren James, our player of the match, scored the opening goal, her first in the cup final. I'm sure that won't be the last for this generational talent. And Natalie Björn, the only real sour note of the afternoon. On crutches, at least she can break a smile and celebrate with her teammates, who wish her a speedy recovery. And Kira Walsh, her 6th League Cup. She won last year with Chelsea, 4 times with Manchester City. Chelsea, another professional cup final performance. And this will be their 18th major trophy as a club. their 4th League Cup. Erin Cuthbert is presented with the trophy. It might not be their year in the WSL, but you can't keep this winning machine down for long. Along with the captain Millie Bright and Erin Cuthbert, it is Chelsea, Women's League Cup champions. Erin Cuthbert, the last woman standing in the face of champagne and, well, all sorts going on. The celebrations, well, they'll continue for a little bit, Rachel, but as we've been told, not for too long. Chelsea have other business to attend to.
Yeah, and I'm sure